Big names have issues at Eldora, but not Bobby Pierce. We'll also talk about what could be trouble for Jonathan Davenport. Trick parts and pieces come out for the dream. Justin Peck's terrible luck, an ugly modified crash, and a lot more. Let's go. It's Thursday, June 5th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. Today's daily show is being supported by BAPS Motor Speedway and SprintCarUnlimited.tv. Coming up this Sunday, June 8th, the 2025 BAPS 410 Sprint Car schedule continues with round number 5 of their season-long championship. Sunday's program will feature some of the best sprint car teams in central Pennsylvania, joined by super sportsmen. Drivers already with wins this year at BAPS include Danny Dietrich, he's won twice, Ashton Torgerson, and Troy Wagaman Jr. If you can't get to the track, watch it all live on SprintCarUnlimited.tv. Sprint cars will be on track for hot lap time trials at 6:15 p.m. The upcoming 410 schedule at BAPS will feature several more 410 sprint car shows, including Pennsylvania Speed Week in June and the World of Outlaws in July. All races except the Outlaw Show will be included in the track championship. Head over to BAPSMotorSpeedway.com to see the full slate of races, and if you want to watch each of the championship races live, including this Sunday, plus PA Speed Week, the Kevin Gobrecht Classic, and the season finale Sprint Showdown in November, you can do that, like I said, all season long at SprintCarUnlimited.tv. Dream Week at Eldora is underway, and last night it was Bobby Pierce picking up the $20,000 win with the Flow Racing Night in America series. Hudson O'Neal led up to halfway, and then it was all the 32 from there. Those guys out front were real fast, and before a late caution, Pierce had a nearly 3-second lead on O'Neal. Only the top 11 cars in the main event were still on the lead lap at the finish, and had there not been that last caution, it might have been fewer than that. Big names who had issues yesterday and finished down the order included Brandon Shepard, Jonathan Davenport, Ricky Thornton Jr., Devin Moran, and Brandon Overton. Davenport hit the wall in qualifying and went to a backup car for the rest of the program after running that primary in the heat race. This might be something to pay attention to the rest of the weekend. That 49 team didn't even rewrap their special Eldora car, which they brought back out for this week. It showed up to the track with the same white scheme that they had run last year. Kind of feels like they just blew the dust off of it and rolled it into the trailer from the corner of the shop that they keep it. The contact with the wall didn't look super hard, and he did run it in the heat, but I do think it's concerning. He ran it for a few laps, then pulled out the backup for the rest of the night. I know they said on the broadcast they weren't sure if the motor was laying down or if maybe the car was hurt, but it didn't look right in the heat. If that car is indeed bent, that might mean JD's odds to win this week just got worse. He was playing catch-up after swapping to the backup car. He used a provisional to start the feature, so I don't know how representative last night's performance really was, kind of being mired back in the field. He doesn't race his prelim night at the Dream until Friday, so there is plenty of time to repair that primary car. RTJ also had issues early, took a provisional to start the feature. Moran was fast. He had a mechanical problem that ended his night while running in the top 5. They should be fine the rest of the week, though. Moran shared it was a battery problem on his car. And Overton was out early after what looked like heavy contact with the wall. I know we shouldn't overreact to one race night, but Pierce certainly looked really strong last night, and O'Neal was up front like I thought he would be. We'll see if any of these other guys can mount a charge. Remember, today and tomorrow at Eldora are split field prelim nights. Half go today, half go Friday. Then everyone is back together on Saturday. Drop your dream win picks below in the comments. Curious if you guys are all in on Pierce or if you think it'll be somebody else. Something else to mention here, especially when we start talking about guys having special Eldora cars, a lot of teams bring out their best ideas for weeks like this. It's not just about special wraps and merch and all of that type of stuff. There are some interesting things to notice on a lot of cars if you get a chance to walk the pits this week or take a look at some photos. Body panels a little more tweaked, spoiler angles a little differently, a trick part here or there. Eldora is a big, fast racetrack, and guys will have their best power under the hood and all the little aero stuff they can manage. I know several of you noticed Cade Dillard's car at the Show Me 100 had the sail panels filled in, and that is back this week for Eldora. And check out the little front kickout on Tyler Erb's lower nose valance. That doesn't feel accidental that little piece is just right there. And these are just a couple of examples to point out here. I heard the tech line was quite interesting yesterday. There were tin snips and adjustment hammers necessary to appease Eldora officials. Not that that's a new thing, but fun to point out here either way. In sprint car action last night, Rico Abreu bagged high limit win at number 5 on the year. Kyle Larson was out front until an open red right past halfway. On the restart, Abreu jumped both second-running Tanner Thorson and Larson to take over the lead. He then held off a late Larson charge for the score. I think Larson would have had a serious shot at the win, but on the final lap, he got blocked low into turn 1 by the lapper of Luke Nellis. It really ended Larson's momentum and probably his chance at the win. It felt like there was a slider coming up there, but nowhere to go with it. Thorson ended up third for his first high-limit podium since winning during Gold Cup last year, and just miserable luck for Justin Peck. Effectively tied for quick time on the night, 4-1 in his heat, wins the dash to get the pole, but his Ford engine came apart before he was even on to the backstretch on the opening lap of the feature. An absolute shame because he was obviously fast. The series will be at 141 Speedway today to make up the rained out Tuesday show. Brad Sweet is back in front of the standings, but has just 2 points on Tyler Courtney. The top 5 there separated by just 31 points total. On the Outlaws side, Carson Macedo outdueled Kerry Madsen at Jackson Motorplex in a midweek show that drew a very nice 42-car field. It was Macedo's second win in 4 races. David Gravel, another podium, his top 10 streak now up to 39 straight races. And Chris Windham, another top 5. I know we talked yesterday about Christopher Traum getting a chance in the TKS ride, and I think some folks were surprised to see Ian Madsen in the 2KS car yesterday. He finished 19th in the feature with Traum done in the night's B-main. The announcement for TKS did say that Traum would be in the car this coming weekend at Knoxville, so no, I don't think Traum is fired before this thing is even started. The Outlaws are off today, then race Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Wisconsin. The Indiana Midget Week show last night was dominated by Jacob Denny. It was USAC Midget win number 2 on the year for him. Justin Grant went 6-2 on the night, and Cale Drake 7-3. JG maintains the season-long USAC Midget Championship lead, while Drake continues as Midget Week leader. Still to come, our Midget Week stops at Lincoln Park, Bloomington, Hopstad, and Kokomo, so a lot more action still to come. Super DIRTCar Series wins this week went to Ryan Godown on Tuesday at Big Diamond, and Stuart Friesen picked up a guaranteed Super Dirt Week starting spot by winning last night at Selinsgrove. Did you guys see the insane crash they had, though, last night in that main event? Lap 12, they had a huge pileup on the front stretch. Matt Shepard got turned, Ryan Godown went flipping, 11 other cars involved here. Really looked like the big one at Talladega. All drivers were okay, but definitely a wild moment. They're not something you see very often in these big modified shows. Super DIRTCar Series Big Block Modifieds are back in 2 weeks. If you want a full rundown on weekend racing coming up, make sure to check out DIRTRACKR.com/watch tonight. You can find all your daily streaming options there. I'd also suggest the schedule at DirtOnDirt.com and the schedules at TJSlideways.com and SprintCarRatings.com. Those 4 places will really give you about as complete a picture of racing coming up as you will find. That's the Daily Show for this week. I appreciate all of the views, the comments, and the support from everyone that tunes in regularly. Enjoy the dirt racing weekend ahead, and we will see you guys right back here on Sunday.